Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do the final ranking of Professor X. I've done a lot of experimenting, a lot of testing. I really like this guy. I've already done the video on him as an evade and a miss counter. I'm going to link that in the description because we're not going to really talk about in this one. There's no need. He's excellent. He doesn't need to apply a debuff and he can get into it right away. I do suggest you take a look at it though, just so you can see what I'm talking about and get that understanding of what he can do. Right now you're looking at a fight on Act 6.4.2. It's the Ragthor lane. And this is just purely meant to be a showcase. You can see he has 3 prowess, which means we've already won 2 additional fights. We do have suicides on. Oddly, I found he actually doesn't work too badly with them. This lane does help a little bit because you see it places that weakness, and so we're getting a bit of a willpower heal from it, but we'll address that more later. We're then going to take a look at him in the recent Cavalier to look at him when there's power control issues in a fight, and then we're going to see him take down the Ragthor boss of this lane. Here we're about to see the massive damage he can do. This is without power back boosts or anything unique or special. Just this is what you can expect if you have him. Because you can just channel these on, or channel came on. Because you can't just rapid fire these, I almost like to think of them as just one big special. It's like, you know, I want to be careful with this comparison, but it's similar to Ghost. When you have the power back on and you can just do all those specials. Yes, it is only one of them doing the damage, but they all happen rapidly and they all happen in succession, and there's nothing the defender can do. Here we're taking a look at the fight against the Deadpool. I wanted to take him in where he's not already lined up to be great. I wanted to really test him. It's really easy to make a champion look amazing if you set them up in all of the right scenarios. Longshot appears to be the best champion in the game if you only fight Venom. So as you can see, there's a power gain issue here. There's also power from afar and the kinetic transference. It's going to mean a lot of baiting of specials and also being really aware of our spacing. These are things that are going to be difficult for any champion to get through. I want you to take a look and see how you think he's doing. And before we get too far in the video, I want to remind you, if you're enjoying the content, if you like this, make sure to hit like and definitely subscribe so you catch all the content. The crystal openings, the war videos, and the in-depth champion reviews and how to plays and how to solos like this. Okay, I came away very impressed. This is good. We'll talk a little bit about how to play him. You do want to get him to the 100 channeling. It makes it more simple to start your mind control, which ensures that the opponent cannot throw a special nor gain power. When you're at 100 and you throw the special, your mind control will start automatically, as you'll see happen right here. It also decreases the cost of our specials, and that's what allows him to just successfully throw them rapid fire, as you're seeing. We dive forward because that creates another prowess, and you go backwards if you want to refresh them. The refreshing will really take place more in the fights with the larger health pools, and you'll see that happen in the Ragthor fight that we're going to take on. As you see, that really wasn't bad. I ended up doing that whole lane with him, and absolutely no problems, and that lane is not designed for mutants. Now I want to give you a sense of what he can do when he is a Horseman of Apocalypse. This just takes him to a whole nother absurd level. The big benefits I saw from this was the bleed resistance and then the prowess that you just automatically start the fight with. It's going to increase his special damage significantly. This is also the Act 6.4.2 Ragthor lane. It was a great lane, I think, to showcase Professor X. It didn't give him anything that he obviously couldn't handle, right? Like, every champion can look bad if you take them on the wrong lane, too. So I felt like this was a lane that didn't emphasize him and just really showcase how amazing he can be, but give you a realistic thought of, okay, when Kabam throws new things at me, how's this guy going to hold up? And I think you're going to be really impressed. I know I was. So he's a Horseman. We have him already built up for his 3, I can't think what they're called, but like his 3 Cerebro charges, which also increase his Synergies, which he gives out. We're not going to address those too much today because I can just tell you right now, they're amazing for those champions. But flat out, they just are. Take a look at him. If you have those champions, consider bringing him along if you get him. Now look at the massive damage he's going to be able to put out and just end this fight. This is an Axe 6.4 champion with a massive health pool, and this fight is over. And there's nothing they can do. Nothing. It's done. A 34,000 SP1 just to end it. And then, again, I just wanted to test this guy before I tell you, hey, when you get him, you're pumped. And here's some things. Look at all of the buffs that are on this node. Combo shield, aspect of death, prove yourself, unblockable specials, and power efficiency. Ragthor is scary enough as it is, because when he gets to those 20 charges and his power gain gets going nutty, there's nothing you can do. Aside, of course, throw your special. So there's already a lot when you're fighting Ragthor to keep in mind. Then you add that after he throws a special, if he hits me even once, I'm dead. And that his specials are going to cost 50% less. And you have to have at least a 15 hit combo just to even do damage to him. I thought, if Professor X can do this, then he has enough, well, let's say flexibility to not only handle a difficult fight against a difficult opponent, but one where he's probably not even supposed to be that great. In this fight, you're going to see us obviously get our the 15 hit combo so that we can do the damage. And then I just really started paying most of my attention to Thor's power charges. I can't think of the correct term at the moment. And ensuring that when they got close to 20, I threw my special to close out his power gain. You see, he's got his power gain. I've thrown my special. I am trying to keep a slight eye on getting my mind control up, because as you're going to see later in the fight, that power control that comes from it can actually be very helpful to you as a defensive tool. It's not just purely offensive. And I was really impressed at how easy that was to utilize in a fight with this much going on. We'll continue to do that. I'm going to continue to try to get to 100 through holding my heavy and charging that up. As you see, we've thrown our special. I dove in to try to get the prowess from it. Still diving in to get prowess that's going to continue to increase our special damage. All while keeping an eye and keeping a mind on trying to keep Thor on his side of the map so that we don't get cornered. Keeping in mind that when he gets to 20, that power gain is going to become unstoppable. There's nothing I can do about it besides throwing my own special like we just did. And that after Thor throws his specials, if I get hit even once, I'm dead. You can see the black passive that he has right there. If I get hit under that while he has that active, I'm dead. The fight is over. This was a pretty difficult boss if you didn't have an intense power control champion. At least that was my memory of it. Here we are. I want you to see, okay, I don't expect this exact scenario to happen to you, but look at how great the falter mechanic can be for you. It can absolutely save you, as it just saved me. I don't know about you, I make mistakes all the time. And having that sort of defensive ability in my back pocket, whew, it feels really good to have. This was a boss fight. I'm going for the solo. If I don't get this, I have to start all over to try to do this fight for this show, for this video, for this channel. And it just saved me. And I think about in war, where I'd feel even more pressure because I'd be letting down 29 buddies. I don't want that laying on me. And so having that, it's a safeguard. It just feels great to know it's there. And I have a feeling that the more I play with him and the more you play with him, you'll probably find a very strong offensive ability or way to use it too. Maybe you can play a bit more aggressively or things like that. Coming up, we're about to show you, and you're about to see, how you can use his mind control ability, again, to save your butt when things get bad. Thor's starting to not want to throw his specials. It's like the all or nothing node kicked in. Of course, he throws his specials, they say it. But his specials cost so much less, and I've started to do a poor job of managing his power charges. He's already almost at three bars of power. Fortunately for me, he does throw a special. But look what we're doing here. Because we're at over 50 of our mind control charges, or what, I can't think of their name, I could go in and do a 5-hit combo ending in a light, and that will start my mind control, meaning he cannot gain power. So I triggered his power gain by getting him up to 20 hits. but I ended my combo in a light and he couldn't gain power, which gave me time to then throw my special and cancel out that power gain completely. It completely saved the fight from me. Now, I've still got a problem because he's already at almost 3 bars of power. And watch this. I'm cornered. And the falter mechanic saves me again. Now, maybe you just think, maybe you're watching this, you think, that's just bad gameplay, dude. I don't know. I think there's a lot going on in this fight. I'm not a perfect player. I make mistakes. And this guy has abilities in his toolkit that can save you through power control and through falter. And then he's got the damage to back it up. And he's part of some of the best synergy teams in the game. All of this adds up to me being, I want to put him in the top shelf, but I'm an excitable person and I get really pumped up on these things. I feel very confident with him being in the super premium. You see where I slotted him? I think he is very much fitting into the current meta and fits in very well with where this game appears to be headed. That's why I wanted to take him into Cavalier. That's the freshest content Kabam has since they've gotten all of that feedback from us. I can easily see him being put in that top tier, especially when paired with Apocalypse, who, you see him there, that's a bit of a placeholder rank for me with him. I just haven't had enough time testing him yet. Same with White Magneto and Cable. I could easily see them all being moved up, but this video is not about them. The White Magneto synergy for Professor X, I think it's really nice. It's really helpful. It adds a 20% duration to his prowess. And then of course, there is the bust from being a hero and a metal champion. And then I referenced the synergy with Apocalypse. I think the biggest one that comes from that is the ability to make him a Horseman, which adds that bleed resistance and allows you to keep suicides on, which really do work well with a lot of the synergy partners that you'll be seeing, such as Colossus, the Magnetos. They work so well with suicides, and it's convenient and saves you units to keep them on when you're doing those fights with Professor X. The beauty is, if you can't take Apocalypse, you only have to win 3 fights to power up Professor X's synergies to the highest level with those Cerebro charges. I think he's incredible. I think he's amazing. I'm probably looking at him as maybe my next R3. He can do incredible damage. You put him with the power back boost. He's on a level which seems to be similar to Ghost. He's got power control. He's a built-in evade and miss counter. There's not a lot he can't do except for immunities, and you can kind of get around those by synergies with partners who seem to be excellent. I want to see him in War, and I want to see Book 2 come out before we put him in the top shelf. Aside from that, I think if you get him, you're very excited, you're feeling lucky, and you're really going to enjoy him too. The last thing to mention is his signature ability. I think it's more than just a nice to have. As you saw, the channeling charges can really come in and help save you with the power control, and then it does get your mind control going. And then of course, scaling up your power potency, that's a big deal. So I think getting that initial awakening really will help him shine and help you utilize him better. And then how well it scales or how much you need the high sig, I unfortunately don't know. Mine's only sig 20, but I'm looking forward to finding out. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow on Twitter at VegaGaming583. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.